Independent, fair, above politics. Those are words you would hope people use to describe the state's highest court. But in Wisconsin, we often hear words like divided and dysfunctional. Tonight, Fox 11 on special assignment will take a closer look at the candidates in next week's Supreme Court election. And Robert Hornacek is here with a preview of his story. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Angela. You know, the tension on the court really culminated 2 years ago. You'll recall that's when an argument broke out between two of the justices, and one justice is accused of putting his hands on another justice's neck. Now, neither of those justices are up for re-election this year, but the incident is still playing a big role in the campaign. Now, current Justice Pat Roggensack is seeking re-election to the court, and she says she witnessed the altercation between her colleagues and says the court does have some work to do in repairing the public's trust. Meanwhile, her opponent is Marquette University law professor Ed Falone. Now, he says the incident highlights the deep divisions on the court and that a change is needed.
On a daily basis, the court is getting along. The court is doing its work in a timely fashion. We are getting our opinions out more quickly than we got them out in the past. And there have been no inappropriate interactions between any justice since June of 2011.
I think what we see is a sense that the court has been trapped in these cycles of hostility, ill will, recrimination, tit-for-tat grudges, and they can't seem to break out of it. And that's why I believe it's time for change in personnel and a new direction.
Coming up tonight on Fox 11 News at 9, we'll hear more from both the candidates, and we'll hear more about what they hope to bring to the court. The election is next Tuesday. Also be sure to tune in this Sunday morning for a special edition of CW 14 Focus with both candidates. That is at 10:30 on CW 14.
You know, Robert, we hear a lot about the court being divided. Where do these candidates fit in?
Well, Pat Roggensack, or both candidates officially are independent. This is a nonpartisan election, but Pat Roggensack is often described as part of the court's conservative majority, although she says she doesn't like to use political labels. She is supported by Republican Party groups and conservative organizations. Falone, on the other hand, also says he doesn't like labels, but he's supported by a lot of Democratic politicians and labor unions. So while they're independent, they clearly have political support behind them.
And how do experts see the race?
Well, that's one of the big questions in all of these races, of course. The first thing they say is, of course, you never know until Election Day. A race like this really does come down to turnout because the turnout is expected to be pretty low. So if either side gets out a lot of its voters, it could really make a difference. But a lot of people say that Falone really has an uphill battle. He got into the race late. Roggensack raised more money than he did. She won the primary easily. And it's also very difficult to defeat a sitting justice. It's only happened about 5 times in the last 160 years. So,
guess we'll see what happens, and we look forward to seeing more of your report.